All right, ladies and gentlemen, people of all genders, welcome to the MMA Monk Fight channel. My name is Keval Joshi. I'm not joined by my partner in crime today, Nirmal Madhukumar, but he is in the editing booth right now working on this video. Nirmal, drop in something cool here so people know you're there, yeah? My name's Keval, and I'm going to be doing a quick breakdown of UFC 298. It's a card that I'm really excited for, and let's not waste any time and let's get at it. Yeah. Also, going to give a quick showdown of my gloves. I got cool new gloves for sparring. So, yeah, excited for those as well. All right. The first fight's going to be in the middleweight division. It's going to be against Anthony Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov. If you don't know about this fight, guys, this is going to be a banger. I was doing my pre-fight research by watching their videos, and both of them are insanely good. Anthony Hernandez came off Dana White's Contender Series, same as Sean O'Malley. And yeah, just a really, really violent, vicious, in-your-face boxer. Brings a lot of pressure with him. Really good at what he does. And against him, we have Roman Kopylov, who is also a really good striker, both with his punches and with his kicks. He's had over 1,000 amateur fights, according to him, so a lot of fight experience and little grappling experience as well. But let's be honest, both of them are power strikers. This is going to be a great battle. I'm really excited to see what happens in this one. I think if Kopylov can handle Hernandez's pressure and counter with something really cool, he'll be able to win the fight. But Hernandez, fluffy, just ruthless in what he does. So this is a real pick 'em. I don't know who wins this, but it's gonna be fun. We, the fans, win this one, right? But yeah, I'm gonna go with Kopylov because I like kickers, but he has a fairly weak tendency to get caught with the jab. I've watched a lot of videos of Kopylov, and every time he gets a jab, he's like, his head gets thrown back, and then he counters. I don't know if Fluffy can put in a combo with a jab, like step in with the jab and then do something else. I think he could, yeah, see, the twist has to be there. But I think he could really put it to Roman Kopylov. So yeah, it's going to be a great fight. Then you got Merab Dvalishvili versus Henry Cejudo. Another good fight. We go from two pure strikers to pure wrestlers. Really excited to see how the wrestling comes together for this one. I think Cejudo will be more technical. Merab will be far more brutal, powerful with his shots. It's going to be interesting to see how Cejudo handles the chain grappling of Merab. Also in MMA, you have just way too many tools to keep someone down. You can punch them, you can, kind of drag and elbow them. Things which a purely Olympic wrestler wouldn't know about, but let's be honest, Cejudo has a lot of experience by now dealing with those kind of things as well. Is he able to deal with Merab's filthy machine-like cardio? That's going to be interesting to find out. It's going to be at the bantamweight division, of course. Less of a weight cut. But still, it's just really hard to keep up with someone in the prime. And I was speaking with Nirmal about the ring rust and Cejudo's mentality that he's in it, but he's out. He's in, but he's out. So that kind of creates like this doubt in your mindset. Merab is committed. Cejudo doesn't really know where he is. I think Merab has this one. But again, it's a really close fight. Then up next, you got welterweight Jeff Neal versus Ian Gary. This fight was supposed to be made before. It got rescheduled for a bunch of reasons, and now it's gonna coming back. I don't know about this one in the sense that is a test. It's a test for Ian Gary, right? We're going to talk about this more when we get to Topuria versus Alex Volkanovski. But these are the fighters that, while they are very good at what we have seen so far of them, they haven't really been tested by the best. Not saying Jeff Neal is the best, but Jeff Neal, is up there. Speaking of Jeff Neal, really good hands, really good elbows. I like how patient he is in his fights. He's patient aggressive, by what I mean by that is like he's hitting you, but he's not going berserker mode. He knows to pick his shots as well, which adds an element. There's an element of danger there because of how pissed both of these fighters are at each other, apparently. But I saw the press conference, and Jeff Neal seems to have a handle on how his mentality is. So I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I think the leg kicks, if Ian Gary can pull them off like he did against Magny, right? Tall Magny. I think Jeff Neal is also a little weak to those, especially given the boxing heavy attack that Jeff Neal displays. And Ian Gary's mindset will, of course, be very interesting to see. Some people were claiming that he was almost crying in the press conference. I don't know, sounded like just his weird throat thing, but it was weird. It was weird. And you never know how a fighter's going to react when there's drama on the outside, right? You just never know. So it's going to be an interesting fight. I'm going to go with Ian Gary just because, I don't know, I like his style. In terms of fighting, I think if he's able to stay outside, if he's able to pop Jeff Neal with some kicks, he might be able to get Jeff Neal in a vulnerable position. And unlike Magny, I think Jeff Neal will keep countering back with enough fire to necessitate Ian Gary, knocking him out, basically. So yeah, I'm really interested to see this fight. It's going to be very fun. And yeah, very excited to see that fight. Let's move on to the next one. Next one's a good one. Paulo Costa. I mean, it's all good ones. Guys, we're eating. We're eating. I'm just very excited about 298, 299, 300. Like, the ramp up is going to be excellent. But speaking of ramp ups, we got Paulo Costa versus Robert Whittaker. I don't know why I segued with speaking of ramp ups, but what a great fight. Paulo Costa coming back after a long break. Ring rust. Ring rust, not real. Dominic Cruz. But whatever Dominic Cruz says, it is kind of impactful. We have seen it in many fighters so far. And the thing is that Paulo Costa is not just ring rust. He was also in a mindset where he was going to be kicked off the UFC and things, right? That there are questions about his contract and stuff like that. He's gotten a very difficult fight against Robert Whittaker. He needs to be focused, fully focused against Robert. Robert is coming off of a knockout loss to Dricus du Plessis. I don't know how Robert's mindset is going to be like. I mean, losing to Israel Adesanya is like, you understand it. Israel is the champion, is the best ever. I mean, he became the best ever after beating Robert Whittaker. I know Silva exists, but you know what I mean. What I'm trying to say is that it's easy to lose to someone like Israel Adesanya when they're at their come up, rather than losing to someone like Dricus when they're come up, because it was so unprecedented. Now, of course, like, Robert would be feeling like, Dricus is champion as well, so it's not that bad. I'm only losing to champion caliber fighters, but it still has a role to play in your mindset, right? So it's just going to be interesting to see how Robert makes a comeback in this fight. I think Robert has this one if he fights like the Robert Whittaker of old, especially given that Paulo Costa has shown a vulnerability to someone who can, really mix up his attacks and coming with some high IQ plays. But if Robert shows a weakness to being blitzed, which he kind of was weak against the Dricus, I think Paulo Costa could have this one. But Paulo Costa needs to stop showing respect. He's too respectful in some of his fights, especially against Israel. I thought he was too respectful in the Rockhold fight as well, which allowed Rockhold to kind of creep back in. If he does that, the Reaper will be eating tonight. My official pick is the Reaper, but, go with whatever you feel, right? It's going to be a fun fight. Leads us, lovely people, to the main event. What a fight. Alexander Volkanowski versus Ilia Topuria. Just really excited to see this one. Just really, really excited to see this one. And more than just to see this one, see how Alexander Volkanovski makes his comeback after the knockout loss to Israel Adesanya. Islam Makhachev. No, I got Israel on my mind with Robert Whittaker and Paulo Costa. But yeah, Alexander Volkanovski will be making his comeback after his knockout loss to Islam. There's a couple of fighters coming back after knockout losses. Whittaker, Volkanovski. And after a knockout, it's always a question mark about chin, right? We always speculate. Did he lose his chin? Is he Cody Garbrandt now? Is he this? Is he that? But like Luke Rockhold showed us that just because you got cracked once easily doesn't mean that it stays with you. I mean, Rockhold got knocked out like 3-4 times in a row. And against Costa, he was still fine. I think it's more about whether you see the shot coming or not. If it's coming like in front of my face, I can kind of block it. But let's say just go pop and then I go knocked out, right? Because game it wasn't to the back, it was more to the side. But you get what I mean. It was in my vision. I wasn't able to prepare for it. Point being that it's going to be interesting to see if Alexander has the same chin, but also if it has a part to play in his mentality, which I really don't think it will. You never know, but I think Alex is going to be fine. On Ilya's side of things, how does Ilia deal with the pressure? He's been talking a lot of shit. Can he back it up? We don't know. Press conference kind of seemed even more lackluster, his entire performance. But again, I don't put too much credence into any of that because you have no idea how the second language barrier is. You have no idea what their health condition is. Do they just want to get to the fight? I mean, he's trying to put on a performance, so he wants to be noted. But I think Alex, being the old man Volkanovski bit, was just so much better than anything Ilia had. Alex just fell asleep, and then Paulo Costa wakes him up. A classic. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Alex for this one. Skill wise, speaking of skills, Ilya does represent a huge threat. He's got submissions. Apparently, my partner, editor Nirmal Madhukumar, again told me that he started with ground game, so that brings an interesting wrinkle. I haven't really seen him shoot in any of his fights, but I haven't seen much of his fights. I'll be honest, I've seen mainly highlights, and the Josh Emmett fight I've watched full, and that was just a massacre. But again, as I was telling Nirmal, then the Josh Emmett fight, Emmett, while dangerous, never really had continuous success. Ilia Topuria fighting against Alexander Volkanovski, how does he react after he loses one round? Or maybe he loses 2 rounds. Or maybe he's been winning 3 rounds or 4 rounds. And in the 5th one or the 4th one, Alex makes this ridiculous comeback and he's just pummeling Ilia while Ilia's on the floor. And Ilia's just taking ground and pound shots and he's thinking, where did the fight go wrong? How does he react then? Is he able to pull back? Is he able to come back with something heavy? Or does he tap out? That's what we're going to wait and see. That's something that fighters like Ian Gary and Ilia Topuria, all of them who have question marks in their career, you never really know how they're going to react when they're in the fire till they're in the fire. It's the same thing with Israel and Kelvin Gastelum. That's when we realized, okay, Israel, if pushed, has that jump up meter. Ironically, if you don't push Israel is when it becomes boring, but let's not get into that. See, I'm an Israel fanboy, but I can still be honest. Any which ways. So until you know, you never know, right? And that's the question with Topuria and with Gary, more so with Topuria, because Topuria has now finally gotten to the test where he has to know, or we have to know. If Topuria gets away with being the smooth operator, boxing combo terminator that he is, that was nice. Operator terminator. So if he's able to do that, then I think it's going to be, of course, it's going to be very hard for Alex. But then we also get the answer to the question that, okay, he's that skillful. Fuck. Give him Conor McGregor then. Give him red panty night. Give him rainbow panty night. Why is it only red? Why do you men not have other colors? We should have more colors, right? I like yellow ones. Why am I not being represented? Weird tangent to take, but my point is, it's going to be a banger fight. We're going to get a lot of questions answered. My official pick is still Alex Volkanovski. I think his high IQ game, his multiple venues of attack, just him being the person that he is going to be enough against Ilia Topuria, especially because it's the first time Ilia is going to come up against someone who is that good. And plus Alex is, I think, personal opinion, but he's gonna take the knockout loss and become even better. I don't know. It just feels like the kind of guy Alexander Volkanovski is. But either way, I'm really excited for this fight. I think you guys should be as well. Gonna be seeing a lot more of you because these rest of the cards are just bangers, and I'm very excited. As you can see with the gloves as well, we'll be adding some sparring, some combos and some things to the mix. Remember, we're just martial arts enthusiasts. My particular case, I'm just a beginner who loves this. So don't expect any high-level combos. Just expect a bunch of people who enjoy this to talk about it. I hope you guys are having fun as well. Watch the fights. Don't try it at home. I don't know why I'm transitioning into a PSA, but keep having fun. Yeah, stay safe, stay sexy, and remember to keep your combos clean. When you hit it, bring it back. Whoos!